Yes, back with another edition of the Strong Podcast. I'm the Great Z.
It's the Sun King Magnetic.
No doubt. So what we in for today?
All right. So today we're going to handle the often elusive topic of nutrition. Everyone likes to emphasize or focus on performance and the actual work because, that's one thing you can measure easily. But like I always say, it's about 20% of your exercise and the other 80% is what you fuel your body with, pre and post.
Right. Yeah. Like right now I'm trying to gain 10 pounds.
Right. So obviously just lifting things won't fit the bill. It's what you fuel your body with to get those things lifted, and how you recover afterwards.
Okay. So we're basically gonna, what's your diet plan, so on and so forth?
Well, first thing to identify is that every body is different, literally. Like every single body is different. So it has to tailor fit your regimen. Yeah. First and foremost, how often you plan on getting in there and putting in work.
Right, because you've always been a slimmer built, growing up. I've always been sort of athletically built.
Right, exactly. Like I didn't start getting a little more, I guess, physically inclined until, I really got into work, and I'm not one of those naturally gifted, athletic dudes. I really had to work for it.
Right. And me, I could just wake up in the morning and just look like I've been working out.
So that's one factor, right? Of course, there's genetics. Of course, your genetic makeup is gonna tip you in a certain direction. So you have to decide what to do from there. Some people are more stocky and built just genetically. And once again, it depends on their goals. If they want to get bigger, then that might not be a struggle for them. If they want to get slimmer, that might be more of a struggle for them.
Right.
So, in the typical case of me, like I've never been that interested in being huge or that built because I engage in bodyweight training. That's my main thing. So it's better for me to be lighter. Just have the amount of musculature that I actually need for my performance. Same thing as you have martial artists and gymnasts and stuff like that. It's better for them to be light. Whereas
to move their body efficiently.
Exactly. So it helps with the agility, just the mobility, everything like that. And then of course, you have other people with conventional or just more.
Me on the other hand, I want to get a little bigger.
Right. Exactly. So you got the aesthetics. You have powerlifting. You have weightlifting. Things of that nature.
Yeah. So, bodybuilding. I'm trying to have a aesthetically, symmetrical looking body. Muscular as well.
Right. Things that you can easily see. So, So if we were to really just, if we were to, just summarize this, basically, Z would be the dude you could tell from a block away. Yo, he works out.
Right. Yeah.
He's bulging out of his shirt, stuff like that. Arms are crazy. This, that, and the third. And not to say that bodyweight trainers don't have the same, could have the same thing. Right. But I'm the guy. You look at me and you wouldn't think twice.
Yeah. Until you take your shirt off.
Right. And then be like,
they see the abs and the cuts, and they're like, oh, okay.
Exactly. Which happens. You were like, oh, what? You hide that. Well, I'm like, I'm not trying to hide it. It's
just an average day. I got clothes on.
Exactly.
I wear clothes.
Exactly. So, just bouncing off of that. So for me, since I'm a lot more performance based, and my diet is different from Z's because I have a plant-based diet, right? So,
and I eat some forms of meat.
Right.
I don't eat beef or pork or whatever. I eat chicken and fish.
So you eat lean meats, right? Yeah. Which is definitely going to segue into what we're going to talk about next. But so for me, I really like to focus on the cleanest sources of energy there is from foods, which naturally comes from fruit and vegetables naturally. So I depend on that solely. That's what works in my life scheme. And, it's been working for me successfully for the last 9 years, right? So the main topic, the first thing I wanted us to address is clean eating, period. And that's a loose term that gets bounced around from person to person.
Right.
And I think, a lot of people don't really know what constitutes clean eating.
Right. Because even with plant-based, or I guess vegan diets, you can still, they still slip in processed food.
Oh yeah, it's easy to be a junkie vegan. There's a lot of them. So there's some people that misrepresent, I would say, the plant-based community, because they eat a lot of processed food. Some people just want to get away from meat, and it could be for the ethical reasons, or they just don't really process meat that properly in their digestive systems. So their main thing is just getting away from meat, and then they swap it with meat substitutes and a lot of carbs.
Right.
And that's not the same thing as being plant-based. Like, the point is you want to incorporate more fruit and vegetables in your diet.
Right.
So
I mean, that's crazy, because it might mean that I even eat cleaner than a lot of
and
vegans.
some vegans, absolutely.
Right.
No, absolutely. It's a fact. Matter of fact, one of my cousins, we had that conversation. She was vegetarian for a moment of time, and she found it a little more beneficial for her to have meat in her diet, but just to eat as clean as possible, and it was more healthy and more consistent in her lifestyle.
Right.
So like I said, my journey led me to being plant-based, and I'm very, very disciplined with it. Some people don't have it that easy.
Yeah, crazy discipline.
And the same thing goes for even if you're a meat eater. Like, so back to the basis, the clean eating is what we want to address today. So even if you are eating meat, I always say like this: you want to have the leanest options possible, and the least processed or not processed at all versions of the meat.
For me eating meat, I don't fry what I'm eating. I don't nuke it, microwave it.
There we go.
I just I bake it mostly.
Right.
You can't grill, but I'm into doing stuff and just leaving it. Grilling, you gotta tend to it a bit. I ain't got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
True, and that's another good point. So it has to really match your lifestyle.
Yeah. So I just grill it, and that way all the fat comes off and everything. So and then I have just a lean. It's mostly like chicken breast.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly.
Mostly,
Exactly.
And then I have that with a salad, maybe some brown rice, or maybe some potato or sweet potato or something like that.
There it is. There it is.
That's delicious, man. It's
yeah,
nice.
so
it's good.
Common denominator, even whatever side of the spectrum that you're on. If you want to have more energy, right, towards your workouts, because that's what people care about at the end of the day. Right. How can I get through this workout? How can I get better at it? So that means if you're putting up more weights, or if you're, getting more reps in, or whatever the case is, right? And that requires energy. And like I said, it's to make an analogy, it's like a sports car, right? If you want to perform like a sports car, you don't want to put cheap gas in your system. You want premium.
You want the best stuff.
You want premium, exactly.
Good product in there.
So let's list like really what constitutes clean eating. So like I said, everyone could stand to have substantial servings of fruit and vegetables. That's already in its natural organic state. Right.
And
so
it's not fruits has sugars in it, but it's not processed sugar.
Exactly. So that's another thing. A lot of people want to well, I don't want to really have too much sugar, and it's like, well, it's not about getting away from sugar, it's about the type of sugar. So of course, obviously processed sugar, which is very addictive and has a lot of restrictive qualities that will suspend a lot of function
and causes a lot of diseases.
Exactly. And we that's a whole conversation in itself. But yeah, naturally occurring sugars basically would be what you would need.
Right.
So
this is natural.
Exactly. Anything off the earth.
Because the human body is natural.
Exactly. Right.
We haven't started genetically modifying ourselves yet, which I think is going to happen sooner or later. But the human body is natural, so it's only right to put natural things.
It responds favorably to natural foods.
Right. So sugar, natural sugars,
naturally occurring sugars. Right. And then you have a wide variety of fruit. And that's another thing. It's about covering the spectrum. Right. So, of course, you're going to have your favorite fruits and your favorite vegetables.
Right.
But variety is the spice of life, right? So you want to start, having fun with more types of fruit, types of vegetables, and types of flavorings and stuff like that, and keep it basically diverse as much as you can. That way you cover a lot of nutrients, vitamins, and minerals.
Yeah, me personally, I like watermelons and pineapples.
Okay.
Those are my go-to fruits.
So there we go.
And secondary would be like oranges and apples.
There we go.
I like those. Then strawberries, bananas, whatever else will pop in.
A nice rule of thumb I like to say is just follow the rainbow. If you can, grocery shop, spend most of your time in the produce section, try to cover every color of the rainbow.
Yeah. Colors are very important when it comes to fruits because there are, the dark, the very dark fruits are claimed to be antioxidants.
Exactly, and that's because they're very sun-fueled.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then others, like I guess oranges, are full with like vitamins and so on and so forth.
Exactly, and nice immediate energy. So, definitely more fruit and vegetables. It's recommended to have 2 to 3, at the very least, 2 to 3 cups of each.
Right.
At the very least.
Yes.
On a daily basis. So if you're really serious about eating clean and having more energy for your workouts, that's one place to start. So 2 to 3 cups at the very least.
Yeah. And also, this is something that is very important as well in terms of juicing and blending.
There we go.
You don't juice fruits.
Excellent point.
You don't juice fruits, you blend fruits. So fruits will be best to have in a smoothie or something like that.
Yeah.
And you juice vegetables. Right? Now, the reason I've heard that you don't juice fruits is because you're stripping away the fiber.
Exactly.
Right? And then you're just going to be left with the sugar.
Exactly.
Of the even though it's good sugar, then it will be concentrated now.
Exactly. So it's like having a big glass of concentrated sugar.
Exactly. Right. So you don't want that. You want the fiber as well. So, because the fiber helps strip away whatever's in the veins, and it helps your digestion and so on and so forth.
Absolutely.
So if you juice fruits, you're gonna just eject it right back out.
Exactly.
It's gonna just pass through you.
Exactly. So eating fruit in its original state is already a good idea. Or like you can blend it. Definitely
blend it. No juicing of fruits.
And especially if you have weight loss goals, then blending will be more beneficial to you. The benefit of juicing, especially as it pertains to vegetables, is to get more nutrient content.
Get more nutrients out of vegetables.
But if you want more filling meals or foods, then you want to keep the fiber in everything, right?
Yeah.
So that's when you focus on blending. So if you have weight loss goals, then that's going to be more beneficial to you.
Right. Because you're gonna throw in your banana, you're gonna throw in your little apples, your little your oranges, maybe put a little protein powder in there or whatever.
Right. Exactly. So that's one definitely one tip to consider. Then of course we have the water conversation. You definitely need me having as much of that as possible.
Enough water. If you want to lose weight, drink water.
Yeah, and even if you want to gain weight, because what water does, it helps with the absorption, right? When you digest food. So more nutrient absorption equals more gains.
More gains, definitely. So water.
Yeah, it matters. It really, really does.
And the body is, what is it, like 98% water?
I've heard different stats. It's different stats.
It's like the brain. We use 20% of the brain, and then someone says, no, we use 4% of the brain. All right, we use not enough of our brains. So when it comes to water, we don't drink enough water to compensate.
We are mostly water, and that's reflective of just this whole planet, right? So you want to have as much water as possible. One benefit for me is that even though it's no reason to not drink less water, or no reason to drink less water, I should say, because I'm already plant-based, there's a lot of water content in what I eat already. But I still stay on top of my water consumption.
Still got to drink a lot of water.
Exactly.
And don't worry about, you got to drink 8 bottles of water, and then don't even worry about that. Just drink water.
Yeah.
Even if you have 2 bottles, you're drinking some water.
Yeah, you have to start. You have to start somewhere, and then build it up. And then, of course, the rule of thumb of that is the clearer your pee gets.
That means you're drinking enough water.
Exactly.
That means you're not dehydrated.
Yeah, exactly. And you're not, you don't have to keep, flushing out toxins in other ways.
Yes. So drink as much water until your pee gets clear, and then you'll be good.
Exactly.
Yeah. Drink enough water where you can drink your own pee.
Yeah, don't quote us on that one. But definitely that's another factor. And then let's talk about post fuel, right? So of course everyone has the protein conversation. This is one case in where me and Z differ. So my protein comes once again from plants, right? His comes from meat, but you want it to be as clean as possible.
Yeah.
So
I do mix it up. I do have my lentil peas and beans and whatnot.
And
so
that's exactly what I was going to say. So even as a meat eater, you don't have to eat meat every single day. Sometimes you want to give your digestive system a break.
Yes, I mix it up, definitely.
Yeah. And there's this myth that the more protein you have means the bigger gains that you have, and that's not the case, right? Mm-hmm. Protein is for recovery, for repair, and that's it, pretty much. Having a complete amino acid profile, and that comes from various sources of food. Once again, I don't have that problem. So when there's this whole argument about, you need meat to have protein and a complete amino acid profile, there's amino acids in virtually every food that there is.
Right.
So once you have a variety, you're covered.
Yeah,
right?
People just want things in a hurry, so they want to consolidate protein and get big and get big quickly, but then they're going to lose that quickly as well.
Yeah, and you might have big problems to go with it. A lot of diseases and just once again a lack of energy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So keep it as clean as possible. If you're a meat eater, stick to like the lean meats, like Z does, like chicken breast, turkey breast, things of that nature, and then mix in with the vegetables. You have legumes, you have nuts, grains, seeds, all of that stuff.
Yeah, you got the almonds, you got the peanuts, you got the cashews.
Absolutely.
I have my cashews with my, I might have a shake, but then after that I have, cashews as a snack.
There you go. There you go.
Almonds as a snack. It's protein.
Yep, there you go.
So you don't have to get it from meat all the time.
Exactly. And last but not least, let's really try to stay away from processed foods.
Right.
All right. If it's in a box, try to avoid it as much as you can. If it is in a box,
like the tofu stuff. Mm-hmm. Like the soy stuff. Mm-hmm. That's processed.
Well, yeah. Well, this is the difference, right? And that's why I'm glad you brought that topic up, because that's what gets a lot of vegetarians and vegans in the trouble. Mm-hmm. They go directly for super processed soy. You can have like organic soy,
right?
And it's pretty much packaged, and you want to go for organic soy, right? The problem with the United States is that most of the soy here
is genetically modified.
Exactly, and that leads to issues, as we all know.
So I just stay away from soy.
Yeah, I keep it to once in the blue. I have it. I keep it to a bare minimum. And if I do it, I'm smart about it.
Yeah.
But once again, if you're buying things, the ingredient list should be really, really low, like close to its original state. Once again, so if you're buying grains, it should be whole grains, right? Also, you want to avoid preservatives as much as possible. So it's like, anything that increases the shelf life of foods is going to increase the shelf life within your body, right? And that's another thing you're going to have to fight off for a longer period of time.
It's going to decrease your shelf life.
Funny how that works, right? Yeah, the food is probably going to last a whole lot longer than you will.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. So try to avoid preservatives. If you look at the back, if you look at the ingredient list and there's just a bunch of things you don't even recognize, compound like chemicals and stuff like that, then you probably just want to leave that alone. When I pick up beans, it should just be beans. Like
beans.
Yeah.
No beans and nothing that you can't pronounce.
Yeah. Even like excess salt and sugar, as we don't need a whole lot of sodium in your system already, and sugar. So these things, try to have foods as close to its original state as possible. And that'll give you, bring you closer to your clean eating goals. And I guarantee you it's going to give you more energy for your workouts.
Nice. All right. So we have come to the end of another strong podcast. I'm the Great Z.
And this is Sun King Magnetic. And we're out.
We're out.
Peace.